61 fantasy points on Dallas not too long ago. 9 days ago. 1 fantasy points. While Dallas's defense is definitely dog shit, can you really say Miami's that much better than Dallas? Now, as Miami was doing so well as far as standings, they're like in playoff contention right now. I
They're gonna
always
make the
thought of
playoffs.
Miami as a bottom 5 team, not like a
No,
top
no,
5
no, 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 no,
team.
no, 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 no. They're like a sneaky team. Like you don't want to play against them in the playoffs.
They're a sneaky team, and they have some good 3-point shooting. Let's be honest.
They do.
Defense, so they're a decent team.
They're well
So
coached.
what team could you really compare Miami to, right? What could you say? Well, that team's kind of like Miami. A tough situation. Maybe Oklahoma, right? That's not a bad comparison. Oklahoma? I don't know.
Oklahoma's way different. Oklahoma's like the complete opposite.
Oklahoma's really good defensively. Oh, you're talking about Buckaroo.
Alright, let me see here. You say you like Kemba Walker at point guard, right?
Reason I like Kemba. What do I think is like 25? What's his ceiling? Against Miami, it's probably 60. 5 to 60, right? I think that like his most likely is probably like 43. About Kemba is he's the kind of player that can get you 5 blocks and steals in a game, which makes a huge difference. He's also the kind of player that can get 40 points, and he's also the kind of player that's going to get 10 assists and 5 rebounds. So you add all that up, and you're talking into the high 40s or 50s.
He only needs 39
really
for value.
9 for value for Kemba?
Yeah, that's
I mean,
all he needs.
let's look at his past few games. Okay, 35, 37, 23 at Oklahoma. That was actually at home. So 23, that was a tough one. I don't know if they got beat the fuck up by Oklahoma or what. 61 Dallas, 43 Lakers, 44 against Golden State. The thing about Kemba though is do value differently than I do, and they just look for like someone that's gonna at least get them 4 value, right? And 4 value on Kemba's what, 30, 31, 32? Odds of him getting under 30 are probably like 10 to 20%. Fine with betting on the 90, 80% chance that he gets over that. I think the odds of him getting over 40 are probably only 40%. He's, like if I'm rating him on like a star basis, I think he's a 4-star pick. He's not a 5-star pick in my book. He's not consistently getting value. He's not consistently putting up high 30s.
Would you like to know where
Range.
Labs has him
I thought Lab
tonight?
was dog shit at this time of night.
It is, but the top point guard right now is Stephen Curry, 88.8 rating. Okay?
We don't even know if Draymond's playing. So like, why is it?
And down at 67.55 is Kemba Walker by TJ McConnell. So, I don't know. They got his ceiling as 53, projecting 35, 4.6
The thing about
salary.
giving him a 53 ceiling is, like I said, he can get 5 blocks and steals combined in a game. And then, factor in FanDuel scoring is like, you take a player with 50 points, if that's all they've got, that's not that good. But if you take a player with 50 points and 7 combined blocks,
Are we building
rebounds,
this lineup that's gonna win a tournament, or are we just, what's the format of this podcast?
Okay, look, the format is this. We're gonna run through the players. It's kind of.
I feel like I've been talking about Kemba Walker for 20 minutes.
Kemba. This is my final consensus on Kemba. As far, I'm more of like the FanDuel side of things, just because I don't really use DraftKings as much. I like big prizes. I like putting $10 in, knowing I can win 100 grand every night. Oh, Saturday, $30,000, still decent prize. I'm gonna give him a 4-star rating out of 5 stars, so he's like a B pick. Today
Oh
other
shit,
options,
I was looking
lot
at
of
early.
lot of shooting guard options
I was
today.
looking at
For
early. What the fuck? There's an early
and
game?
at the early, maybe there's a nice early slate. I didn't even take a look see at that, frankly.
It's a 2-game slate, but I don't know what it is. But whatever.
As far as like my estimates, which
Are
as
you
far like
locking
I did
Kemba? Are you
estimates all over the
locking
place.
Kemba? Is my question. Never mind. We won't lock anything yet.
Anything, but this is my
What
final
about
number on
Stephen
Kemba.
Curry?
I don't want to do too much stuff with Steph, and Steph aren't necessarily like gonna fuck each other up whether one or the other's out. But I don't like getting too heavy into a team like a player's performance when I know that a player like Draymond, who can produce 50, 60 fantasy points, we don't know what's going on with him. And we know that Steph Curry is an assister and a scorer. He's also a thief. He can get a few steals. He's not much of a blocker, not much of a rebounder. Out, he can probably get at least 5 free points. That's the thing, is defensive rebounds are just handout points for the most part, right? The team hits a 3, one guy sticks behind to get the rebound. It's not like that's contested. It's not like you need to have Draymond or KD getting those rebounds. Steph and KD are going to be getting a lot more handout points from the rebounds.
Do you like
And I
Chris
know they're
Paul?
only one more than Chris Paul.
How do you feel about him?
GTD's too right now, don't they though? Houston?
Who?
You know what? Absolutely down to talk about Houston. But you're right, let's focus on point guards.
Who's game time decision in Houston?
Nobody is game time
Oh,
decision in Houston. You're right.
Ariza and
I was
Gerald
mistaken.
Green are suspended?
But that, so they got all excited. They wanted to fuck
Oh,
up Austin
yeah.
Rivers,
Who
so
else?
they ran into the
Did
Clippers
anyone?
locker
No one in
room.
the Clippers got suspended, right?
It was like, I think it was one of those things where I've kind of been in real life situations like this where you got like some heat.
Yeah. No. I know what happened.
It's kind of how World War II and World
Okay.
War I started. You get one guy pissed
Alright.
at another guy.
Anyways,
this guy's buddy joins in.
what about like value point guards?
Off Kemba. We might as well just kind of do a rundown of Steph. Kind of ignore Draymond. Steph.
If I'm gonna
Steph
pick,
Curry.
this is what I'm thinking. If I am picking Steph, I'm gonna instead just go to Chris Paul.
Okay, but Steph, and I want to say this, I don't think there's a more consistent player in the entire slate than Steph Curry.
Probably not.
You look at his game log.
You're probably right.
It's between 40
You know
and
who's
60
probably
every.
second right behind him though, eh? Chris Paul. Maybe
See,
Kevin Durant.
I don't see that because you look at Chris Paul, he's got a gross little 18 bomb against the Clippers. Gross little 32 bomb against the Wizards. So I don't see him as nearly as consistent. Maybe he is second, but I think Damian Lillard is more consistent than Chris Paul.
No.
Paul, is there so many?
No.
He definitely doesn't have the same potential Chris Paul does, and we're talking about a big tournament win line here. We're not talking about getting into those double ups, right? As much. I mean, a big tournament line is more risky.
I don't think I want to pay up at point guard, honestly.
I respect that decision, but Steph, they lowered his price. He was over 10,000 over here on FanDuel, so him being 95, he's got to get, in my book, he's got to get about 47 to value. And I mean, I don't think that's too hard for him. To remember, too, the matchup, right? Houston is probably the two highest scoring teams in the entire league. He's
What
both top five.
about Jeff Teague for 6,100 at Minnesota?
Jeff Teague is risky.
You think he's risky? Take a click-see.
I do. What I'm gonna do is I gotta give Steph Curry real quick. I think I'm gonna go in order real quick here of just like of the top point guard picks. Number they're gonna get us. Teague, he's capable. I've always thought he's capable of 50, and at 6,000, that's that's an 8, almost 9 value.
Right.
But Steph Curry, I think, is one of those rare players where his bottom is really like 38 tomorrow.
Right.
I even feel wrong writing that.
Right.
Say his cap is probably 68. I think Steph Curry will get between 38, 68. Not much of a. But as far as his final number, probably going to be at 53. That's going to be his final number in my book. What do you think? Is that a little high, a little low?
What was the number?
I give Steph Curry a 53. I actually would give him 5 stars. Because
You're going to give him a 53 for the night.
53 is what if I was gonna get $1 million, if I correctly guessed what Steph Curry's fantasy points tomorrow night are, I'd go with 53. I might even go a little higher, like 56.
You know what I have been waiting for? Now I know that this isn't what we're talking about, but I'm waiting for that Klay Thompson day. All right.
The thing about Klay Thompson, he's a fucking fantastic player. He's probably one of the best shooters the game's ever seen. But Klay only scores. Doesn't ever get really any blocks or steals. Maybe 1 or 2 total combined.
How do you feel about DSJ? You like DSJ?
Are you talking about Dennis Smith?
Yeah.
Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Dallas has been doing well recently, more so than the beginning of the season.
6.8 salary.
You need 34.
Yep.
I'm just looking at his log. He's a good pick. I don't know about his minutes though, because he has a big minute range. He'll either get like 23 or he's gonna get 40. So.
Well, yeah, it probably goes by how he's playing.
Dallas is a good team to target. Days off. So.
And they're usually not very high owned.
Yeah. But I kind of want to revert back to just real quickly, Chris Paul.
You like Chris Paul? What's that?
You know that Chris Paul is gonna want to show off his skills against the.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like if I'm paying 95 for Steph, I would say Chris Paul can get 53 too.
Yeah, but the thing about I don't think the fact that the Rockets are at home will matter at all.
Probably not.
Because the Warriors have a better record away than they do at home. So, I think Steph is more consistent, but obviously Chris Paul.
Do you know what is a factor?
Probably, I mean, they're kind of like the same
player.
But,
listen, do you know what is a factor in that game? Gerald Green, suspended. Trevor Ariza, suspended.
Suspended against Minnesota. And while Minnesota is probably better defensively, and it's going to be not as.
What are you talking about? Wait, what?
out again in the Minnesota game yesterday too, and he
Oh, got
got
you.
46.7.
Yeah, that would be more useful for the other role players probably
You know,
than Chris Paul
It's funny
scoring.
because when everybody heard about Gerald and like when I heard, I was like, oh shit, okay, so there's gonna be some value in
Yeah,
somebody that
right,
I
right,
pick,
right, right.
right? But it was actually Mbamut, who
Mbamute.
was who was the guy that got most of the points.
See, now that I
Vacancy.
kind I like him for just a dirty GPP play.
If they raised his price because he was sub 4K.
Him or PJ Tucker in your GPP?
Both of them. Both of them were
Both
sub 4K.
of them. So
And I think
you
just
don't
off the
see.
guards alone, you've got 3 options over 9,000. You got Curry, Paul, and Lillard.
All right, but I'm not. You're not telling me about any value point guards. What if I want to save some money?
But I agree. We're gonna move on. I think we gotta cover Lillard. But as far
You
as
gotta give me a couple.
we can hop down to some value, we can jump over Lillard. I'm absolutely on board with
Mario
that.
Chalmers?
It's TP3 just real quick to kind of wrap him up, give him a number. I'd say he's definitely gonna get at least 36 tomorrow, and his ceiling is probably 72. That's what he gets. There's no.
You said he'll probably get 36?
I said that's his floor.
Okay, yeah.
If I had to guess, like, I don't know. I think predicting, I'd probably say 55.
Oh, you're putting him higher than Steph? Okay, I like it.
Yeah. I mean, Steph. The thing about Chris Paul is he can get a lot more assists. I think he averages more assists than Steph. Chris Paul 9.2 per game. Steph Curry. So that's mostly where that difference is. But do a value.
I like
Let's hop
Rajon
on down. Let me just
Rondo.
see. Rondo is so GPP.
I know, that's what I was just gonna say. He's
Tournament
the
he'll
definition
drop 7
of
or he'll drop
GPP.
50. You never know.
Yeah, he's definition. And what's
I don't
what's
think
the
I've ever
matchup?
seen a player get
What's the
25
matchup?
assists.
Memphis?
I wish I had him that night.
He's against
And they're against the
shittier point
Grizzlies.
guard.
Now, whenever I see Grizzlies, the first thing that comes to my head is, wow, they're a good defensive team. But I don't think that's the case anymore.
No, they got rid of Zach Randolph, and they're not really about that life anymore. Plus, no Mike Conley.
So
I can't even tell you who their 2 guard is. They traded Tony Allen away. Or whatever happened.
Sacramento to 88 today. So they're on a back-to-back tomorrow.
Ooh, that's nice. I like Rajon a lot.
Rondo's price went down quite a bit. His minutes are going down. I don't know if that's a thing that's gonna stay.
There's
like
also I like the 2 guys right above him too.
Okay. Well, why don't we just? I definitely Rondo. Let me just take a look-see at his numbers. This is the kind of guy that has a much wider range than because we've been talking Steph and Chris Paul. Those guys don't have much of a range. They do, but it's not.
Hey,
like
you watch
Rondo,
your
where
mouth. TJ McConnell had 47 on the 15th.
TJ McConnell is
Yeah.
Redick's out. Redick was getting a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
that's right.
Yeah. You know who's got the record in the league for most consecutive free throws made this season?
Who? Who is it?
Game tonight. It's Courtney Lee. 52 free throws in a row he's made.
So anyway, do you want to move on to shooting guard?
Yeah, why don't we jump down to shooting guard? Let me just do a write up on Rondo real quick here. So Rondo's range is for me is 10 to 50. Maybe not 50, maybe 45. No, 50 cuz he got 25 assists. So, it's going to get the job done. That's usually as many assists as an entire friggin' team.
Do you
Prediction
take?
on Rondo.
Give me at least 25.
25 is
I would say his floor is probably like 20,
They
right?
just played Memphis like a week ago and he dropped 23.
He's got to have a floor of like
That's
20, right?
value at the
Yeah.
price he's at now.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just a minutes question because that game he had 31 minutes, whereas the last 5 games he's been under 30 minutes. 17.
Who else have
It's
they been
risky,
running?
but I mean, he is. It's always good to have a player that is capable of. Right, Rondo can get 49. He can get another 20 assist game. Maybe
Yeah.
5 combined steals and blocks. I don't think he actually blocks that much. Oh no, he got 2 blocks against Boston, so he can block. He can get a 5 combined block steal for 15. And if you add that to 20 assists, there's 45 without even any points on the board. I'll predict 24 for tomorrow's contest.
Okay, I like it.
Which right where they have him as value. My guards to go through, but let's go through some shooting guards.
Would you take James
Obviously,
Harden in your GPP?
Yesterday against Minnesota, I don't know if he was on a minute restriction.
He was. He was. He was on a 25-minute restriction, and tomorrow he's on a 30-minute restriction.
They haven't changed his price at all for the 5 extra minutes he gets. We all know James Harden can get a lot more than 1 fantasy point per minute. He would need like close to 2 fantasy points per minute.
Yeah,
With the 30-minute restriction. Although I'll tell you what, if it's a close game, I don't think they're gonna give a fuck about no minute restriction.
He's gonna be like, "Let me play."
I think that Harden. I think he can get.
Didn't he come back a little earlier than what they thought?
I watched the game he was playing in when he got hurt, and it didn't seem like a big deal. I think they're just, they're being safe. If Harden has a big injury, they're fucked for playoffs. By far.
Plus, I mean, he just has to get hot. If he gets hot, bam.
Did you hear about they released the All-Star team?
Yeah. What about him?
Our picks, you hear about that, buddy?
Yeah, what about him?
Who would you pick?
For the All-Star starter?
Yeah, if you had a first pick, who would you pick out of that pool of 8?
The pool of what?
Oh.
I don't know what you asked me.
If you had first pick like LeBron James does, who would you snag out of the 8 options?
Oh.
Boogie, Anthony Davis, Giannis, Embiid, Kyrie Irving.
I would grab Giannis.
Oh, it's not a bad pick. I actually, if James Harden is totally healthy, I think I'd want Harden.
Oh, really? Harden's on...
That or Embiid. I like Embiid.
Yeah, Embiid really wants to be a starter, too.
Embiid's a very
What about shooting guards, though? Curran?
Harden is a tough sell. 2. He's on 30 minutes. I don't really see him getting 52. Which, I mean, James Harden, he's just such a big part of their offense. So, like,
Yeah, exactly. Plus, if he
for
gets
40
hot,
left and right, yeah. And he'll steal and hit a three and then do it
I mean,
3
if he
more
gets
times. And then
55, are
gets
you
you
mad?
25 fantasy
If he gets you
points.
55, are you mad?
And see, that's the thing is it's a huge question tomorrow because there's such a huge drop. If you don't have Harden, then you're looking at DeRozan, Tyreek, who's by the way, Drew Holiday is at his highest price of the season at 8,000.
Jesus Christ.
If you're trying to get 80 fantasy points
Drew
in your
Holiday's
shooting
been
guard
going
slot,
off. What's he doing?
yeah, their most expensive player as far as like millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
It's always been a mystery to me how the Pelicans don't have a better record with the amount of talent they have.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Rondo doing stuff. James Harden.
I think I'm
I might
picking
just do
James
it.
Harden.
This game, 29 minutes, 28 fantasy points. 31 minutes, 40 fantasy points. 34 minutes, 70. This is tough to nail down. I think if the Rockets budge their minute restriction, he's a good pick. But if they actually stick to 30
If
minutes,
I mean, I'm sure it'll be around 30 minutes. It's not going to be
I don't know, man.
35.
I don't know. It's gonna be a tough decision, but I would say his range. Ugh, it's tough to say.
I would put his range between
I give his range 20
20,
to
25 to at least 67.
I'd say 62 unless they budge on the minute restriction. If I'm doing a prediction, I'd say 45. You know,
I'd say he can get 55.
the thing about it too is
52.
Aaron so much work with the injuries that they might just rely on him
It
to
just
have
depends
like a
on
10
who's
point
it just
year on
depends
Golden
on whose
State.
shot's going and really, especially against the Warriors cuz it's a 3-point
And
contest.
Harden's gonna get points. He's gonna have 25
It's just a 3-point
to
contest
35.
too.
And the Rockets are actually the highest 3-point attempt team in the league, or at least they were 2 weeks ago when I looked at the stat. But there's probably at least still in the
How do you
top five.
feel
So they
about
shoot a lot of threes. Golden State shoots a lot of threes.
Lou?
There's gonna be a lot of 3-point
Do you
shots, but
like
if you,
Lou?
I'm not. Mr. Williams always like Lou. Utah's on a back-to-back, which is like, well, maybe it's gonna be a stomping by the Clippers, but it's at Utah. So they're gonna, and Utah has a pretty thick bench. Lou needs
Yeah,
42. Get 42. I mean, if you look at the last 10 games, he's probably averaged 42.
probably, yeah.
Hard for him. Perform better away or at home. I don't think it really makes a difference where he's at. He's gonna perform. As far as struggling with Blake Griffin having some issues,
I would say he'll put up at least 50, and for his price,
who about Mr. Lou is he's gonna get more rebounds with DeAndre out.
I'm saying he gets at least 50. Minimum.
Well, you can never say 50 minimum.
50 minimum.
If you're talking about LeBron James, look at LeBron. He got fucking 28 last time
Yeah,
he played.
you're right. I said 50
Against the
minimum when he did that.
Magic.
Yeah, I said
You know
50
how
minimum
tough
when
it
he
was
did
for
that.
me when I looked at LeBron James and I was like, okay, he's playing a total scrub team. No offense, the Magic. 8 fantasy points. Livid about the whole situation. It's really hard to go by 34 points. But
Okay,
LeBron
well,
James
okay,
did it for me.
Tyreek or Lou?
Lou Williams tomorrow with Austin Rivers out, Gallinari's been out. Is their scoring gonna come from? Right? Cheap as
Exactly.
hell too. Has he been getting full minutes? He has
Who?
36, 34. Blake Griffin and Lou Williams are great picks tomorrow.
Mbamute?
I
G?
mean,
PP?
the only thing that I would worry about, pretty unlikely, would be that the Clippers somehow have a 15-point lead against at the half, and then by halfway through the third quarter, it's a 25-point lead, and then the Jazz don't really any point, in which case it's a lot of second string players, which is
I don't think it turns into a blowout by any means, but I definitely don't
if
like I hate the pace of the game.
that and Lou Williams is really great at stealing too.
And I feel
He
like
can steal. He can get 6, 7 steals.
he's kind of like matchup proof against Utah's slowness and good defense.
Yeah, and I mean, look at today. The Knicks dropped 120 on Utah, so defense gets better on a back-to-back.
Oh,
You know
Utah
what I mean?
played today.
Maybe a little bit.
They're
I
on a
give
back-to-back, huh?
They are. I would say Lou of 34 with a ceiling of 70, and I'd probably predict him going for 55.
You got him going for
25.
55, but I said he was
I'm gonna
going for
say
50.
two because I've been having this problem of overshooting my estimates a little bit.
Yeah.
Estimate of 10 over value? That's a pretty high estimate. They're both in the same conference. Time they played.
I think he'll get at least
Lou
40.
when they played, he only got 34. But obviously Austin Rivers wasn't out, and obviously DeAndre Jordan wasn't out, and Lou Williams only averages 2.5 rebounds per game. But I goes up to like 5 or 6. Actually, Blake Griffin might be the better pick between the two. It's kind of hard to compare Lou to like games from a few months ago because of the injuries the Clippers have had.
Yeah, man. All right. You got to be able to move it along now. Any other shooting guards you're looking at? Like, who catches your eye at shooting guards? Top 5
Um,
on Labs, Evans, Lou Williams, Tyrone Wallace, Andrew Wiggins, DeMar DeRozan.
yeah, I'd say if I'm not picking Lou, I might even rather have Tyreek. If you look at Tyreek's last 10, it's been pretty friggin' consistent. 41, 43, 38, 42, 42. A little slip up against Denver, dropped 23. 45, 46 today, 28.
Fucking dropped it.
New Orleans, but it is a back-to-back. The thing, though, is that he only had 27 minutes today, which is like a 2-week low in minutes.
Tyreek?
But they got the job done. It was the second string that got the job done. I would assume tomorrow that Tyreek gets it like probably.
He's expensive.
I
What
don't know.
about this Tyrone Wallace kid? What do you think of him?
Get the pen on the paper for Tyreek real quick. Range
You gotta check
22.
out Tyrone Wallace at 4,400.
Tyrone, you want me to check his dirty dingo out? Would love to. That's right. The Clippers have all this like kind of relatively fresh talent. Hazel or Hazel, I don't know how you say it.
Harold?
Oh, and this guy Tyrone, great looking fellows, both on and off the court. Yeah, so he's got like a 41 bomb against Golden State.
Hell yeah.
He's only got to get 22. Cases where the average fantasy is higher than the salary 5x. Definitely a good pick, but problem is, if he does only drop his average, which is 25, out of the shooting guard category with all the options, right? I mean, you got Lou Williams and Tyreek. We're probably going to get like 40, which means that there's going to be a lot of people with 80 to 100 points coming out of that shooting guard slot.
What about
Tyrone?
what's the guesstimation on ownership on these guys?
Do that because I really don't like. I don't know. I don't think that's really calculable. Like you can do it.
You can
with
take a
players
guess.
That, I mean, you can, but it's not a reliable thing. Like
Okay, well, who's gonna be more owned, Tyrone Wallace or Lou Williams
it
and
can
James
be
Harden?
reliable, but you can't do it for everyone. James Harden's gonna be less than 10% owned tomorrow, guaranteed.
You think he'll be less than 10% owned in that tourney?
Yeah, he was only 4 something
Okay.
against Minnesota.
Okay.
Would go any. It probably adding 5 minutes doesn't really change much. If I had to guess Harden's own percentage, it'd probably be 8.7.
Okay.
Yesterday when they played Minnesota, that was a 4-game slate, and Harden was 4.7% owned in a 4-game slate. 7-game slate, I'd estimate Harden's own percentage between 4 and probably be like 20% on tomorrow. Probably be like 10% on, but I mean, it's not really something that you can predict. Predict it when there's lots of injuries, and it's a small slate.
Who's that small
Like,
forward then?
Oh, you want to check out the SFs? Okay. Wow, first thing, obviously, Giannis is taking a breather.
Is he for sure?
Value.
Is that for sure?
I mean,
He's
that's
out.
what
I've
he
not
said.
provided an official update, but it's fair to assume Antetokounmpo will be held out as a precaution, as has been the case periodically throughout the season. The All-Star starter missed a game on December 23rd with a knee issue, but has played every game since and is averaging more than 35 minutes per game in the month of January.
Yeah.
Expect Middleton and Bledsoe to shoulder more of the offensive workload.
So it says he's out, and it's updated like tonight. So.
Look at his last 2 games on the 15th and 17th, though.
Ow.
He looks like he's getting ready for the All-Star game. He went 27 and 20 and 6 with 2 blocks.
You look at his salary. That's not that great. He has to get 58 to be value.
I know he's expensive as
60.
fuck.
53 is like okay. That's a problem when you get into these like LeBron James, Giannis, Boogie.
It's
Davis,
not
like
a problem though. It's a good thing to get that many points. It's like they don't have to get ×5.
But that should be. I mean, that's just the way I do it. But I think when you're talking about like a tournament line, that should be a standard. Getting 5x, like tonight.
No, I think when you get over 10K, if you don't get 5 times, it's not
different.
a
It's
it's not a line
definitely
killer.
different.
It's not a line
It's
killer.
different because if you can, like, Giannis's price is 20% of your entire salary, and you have to keep in mind you have 9 players, so putting 20% of your salary. Okay, so if you have 9 players, that's 11%. You want to average 11% of your salary per player. Giving someone like Giannis 20% of your salary is you pretty much giving him 2 players worth of equity. Gets 5x and gets 58. That's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing because you crossing off and saying yes, I've gotten value percent of my lineup already with 1 player, and I mean, guys like this are pretty consistent. Less consistent lately. He's dropped like 3 or 4 30 bombs in the last 2 weeks.
Right.
$12,000 player is really bad because you're losing 30 value. So it's not bad. It's just, because the 2 games before that, 31, 37, 36, it's a huge risk to put this much salary on somebody.
I agree.
If you like, let's say Giannis wasn't out, I wouldn't want him. I'd probably give him
Is
a three star
KD nine
three star
hundred
rating.
dollar $900 cheaper with like the same potential?
Draymond Green is out. Kevin Durant is a slam dunk pick against the Rockets.
Yeah, and he's $900 cheaper than Giannis.
Kevin Durant's a really good pick, especially like he hasn't been doing too much blocking recently. Actually, in the last 10 games, but actually no, in the last 8 games. So he's averaging
I
less
feel
than
like
a
he does
half
it
a block
all.
per
He fucking does it all.
against Houston. He's definitely capable of like a
He's gonna be running
like
all over the floor.
he could easily drop 75 tomorrow. If Draymond's out. If Draymond's out, you're gonna see his rebounding go from
I don't know. I feel like
6,
when
7,
Draymond's out, it
10, or
hurts the
11.
team. I don't know. Because Draymond doesn't really
He,
score.
well,
Draymond
the
takes
thing
care of the little things.
gets the rebounds, right? He's a big dude. So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
Draymond's
yeah, yeah,
getting 10
yeah.
rebounds a game,
KD's
I'm
gonna get
guessing
those
3 of
rebounds.
those are gonna go to KD,
At
maybe
least.
even more. Draymond is out, Kevin Durant will get at least 50. And I think his range is probably like 40 to 75. 55 to 75. And the Rockets, I mean, Draymond are both out tomorrow, and
Are
doesn't
they
get
out for
50.
sure?
And that's not bad.
Is he out for sure? Like, for sure?
Time decisions.
Alright.
That's why this, the Rocket side of this matchup to do analysis on, but the Warriors side is harder because you're talking Draymond Green, is he playing? You're talking Iguodala, is he playing? And these are big questions. And what's the guy? The guy that screwed everybody the other day? It was 40% owned. Bell, I think.
Fuck him. He pissed me off. You like Jimmy Buckets?
Rough game against Houston, so I kind of think Houston and Toronto are a little similar.
So, what do you think about Jimmy Buckets, though?
I think he's, I mean, he's a good pick.
You
He's
think they're
lower
the
his price,
same?
$600.
So, I wonder who guards him.
I don't think it's very hard for him to get 47
Who
against
guards
Toronto.
him on Toronto?
Ibaka? I'm not 100% sure.
Nah, Ibaka would be on Taj. McCollum would be on Wiggins.
They have Lowry, they have DeRozan, they
DeRozan.
have, usually they'll
I
have
mean,
a
yeah,
OG
DeRozan.
Anunoby or
DeRozan.
CJ Miles.
DeRozan's kind of bigger. I
Yes.
bet he'll be on. I don't know.
Valencias, who's going to be on Cat? I like Cat, but we're not even at centers yet.
Yeah, Valanciunas would be
Jimmy
on
Butler, I
Cat.
think Jimmy Butler is kind of like one of those players that's going to be 60% owned in double ups.
You think
because of his
so?
consistency. I think you're looking at a worst 36 and a peak of 65.
30, 42,
The middle
63,
somewhere, probably
38.
like 48, 48, 52, something like that.
Needs 47 for value. Josh Richardson again? Nah, not on the back-to-back, right?
They played him a lot today, if I remember correctly.
37 minutes.
Minutes.
It's a lot.
And he's not a bad pick.
He's not all scoring either.
But
They
there,
played
there
a
was
really. Well,
somebody out in
Brooklyn's
Miami.
not
That Tyler,
terrible.
I think, is still out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. Or at least he was.
Or he's got an ankle sprain, so he might be
Yeah, we'll
a
see.
guy who played tomorrow. I don't know for sure. And I like Josh Richardson. What's his ceiling, right? What's his ceiling?
Yeah. Um.
Played Charlotte not too long ago, like a month ago. E3, so that's good.
You got what?
And if we look at like his back-to-backs,
I'm
40 minutes.
I'm kind of off him because of the
He got
back-to-back.
33 the last time they played. He got 33 in 33 minutes.
I don't like the back-to-back, but I like the price.
And back-to-backs don't affect young players as much, you know? Like a
That's
24
true.
year old
I
isn't
guess,
going to be
yeah, that's true.
too affected by it. Like Dallas, he got
There's a good
6
chance
minutes,
for him to get you
then they
×6 though.
flew up Orleans,
Would
played
you agree
36
there's a
minutes
good
again.
chance he gets you ×6?
A very good chance. I'd say his range is probably 27. No, maybe that's too high. It's probably like 22 to.
You know what I
That's
like
probably his
about
range.
him is that you don't have to rely on scoring. He can get the peripherals.
Yeah, he's averaging like 2 steals a game,
4
one
rebounds.
block a game,
So, yeah, I like these assists.
getting a lot of assists recently.
Yeah.
He's definitely a
What was his
four-star pick,
price yesterday? Do you
and
remember?
I like him a lot because it doesn't really look like he's the kind of guy that's gonna fuck you. He's not gonna screw up your line by going 10 points under value. Downside of him is like a 23 or a 25. That's what I see as a more
I
likely
don't
pick. Downside,
see like any other really great small forwards after those guys.
there's always someone down in the bottom of the barrel that can pop off, you know.
I mean, PJ Tucker. Uh, Iguodala, if he
what
plays,
about
maybe.
Mbamut? Or is he a PF?
I don't know. I don't even know.
Don't matter, Luther. You gotta know when it's hot and cold. Look how cheap Robert Covington is.
Look at his game log. It's disgusting.
Close, isn't it?
Yeah, it's terrible.
It certainly is, isn't it?
PJ Tucker,
Definitely.
God, he's getting old.
raised his price too. Yikes. Consider him. CJ Miles, CJ Miles is risky.
I can't stand CJ Miles.
Value, maybe even 10. But really?
I don't know about all that.
I think tomorrow's gonna be like a Richardson, Jimmy Butler.
Oh, what?
I'm probably gonna end up having Josh Richardson and Kevin Durant, or Josh Richardson and Jimmy Butler. That's gonna be a lot of salary.
I feel like a lot of people are
Anyway,
gonna be on Josh Richardson.
gonna be on Kevin Durant, especially if Draymond's out.
I kind of like a Harrison Barnes pivot over Josh Richardson.
They're kind of like the
Myself,
same player.
kind of.
They're kind of like the same player. Averages like a higher performance, but he's also $700 higher.
Right,
Does Barnes ever drop 50? Does he get even? Not really. He's like maybe a 40.
right.
Against Portland, it's not like Portland lets a lot of scoring happen. They're not the best in the league. They're not the worst. I'd probably say with all the time they've had off, he probably gets 35 tomorrow.
35?
Maybe a little less.
35 isn't enough.
He's good for 67. That's good. He's only got to get 33 to be satisfactory. About him is his floor is pretty low.
Yeah. If you believe in ownership, though.
Well, ownership with a 7-game slate doesn't really matter, because when you compound the ownership for every player,
Does ownership
every
matter
receiver
as
has the
much
exact same
in the
value.
NBA even?
But
Does it matter as much in basketball?
uh, if everybody has a player that's 10% owned, well, that's pretty high for a 7-game slate. Someone might have the same lineup
Take
as you.
a hard look at MKG.
But then when you fucking, yeah, I had him when he did well.
When he
10-9.
got 37, you had him. So you took him off the back of a 17-point game. God damn.
Well, he was cheaper when he dropped 37. He was like 44.
I bet he was.
I don't know about him, man. Against Miami.
You don't know about him, huh?
Good Miami. Last time they
Yeah,
played,
fuck that game. I don't like anything in that game.
let's just hit the powers. Let's hit the power
You want to hit the
section.
powers?
Let's do it.
Alright, let's hit the powers.
My pick is definitely Blake Griffin. DeAndre's out. Who's gonna get the rebounds? Who's gonna get DeAndre's 20 rebounds?
You like Blake? He's pretty good
Yeah, I like
price.
Blake. I've got a big fat gay crush on Blake tomorrow. To 35 minutes. He's only got to get 42, and he's probably going to get a lot of motherfucking rebounds. The only factor in the Clippers is these new Diesel, Tyrone, like these guys, if they come through
Oh,
and they're
that's
the
just an
guys getting it,
advantage.
I'm really just worried about my fucking rebounds. I want Blake to get 14 rebounds 6 assists, 25 points, and a steal.
I'm not
And that's
even
50.
looking at Blake. Fuck Blake. Montrezl Harrell.
Not about the Blake life. Really.
Montrezl Harrell. Give me Montrez over Blake. I don't want it. I don't want Blake.
You know, if you pick $5,000 players,
Blake
you're
is
not
a
going to lose
chalk.
on that.
Blake is a chalk. What about Ben Simmons?
$5,000 a player.
What
You're
about
not
Ben
losing.
Simmons? Ben Simmons?
Ben Simmons is sketchy recently.
He is.
Might go well.
He
He
is.
hasn't had like a 50 bomb in forever, it seems like.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. He's due.
Doing some contrarian stuff, like, oh shit, he might have his big fat 60 bomb. I'd love to be there when he gets it, right? And you're going to pick him 5
Serge
days in a row.
Ibaka.
Well, today I'll tell you that. I watched that whole game. He wasn't doing much.
Taj Gibson.
Just yesterday he was right.
He's not much of a GPP player.
Are they still trying to bleed you for like 6K for Taj? I like Taj at 5K. I'm not a big fan of him at 6K.
How do you feel about Derek?
Well, I'm just gonna write down my Blake Griffin notes real quick here before I kind of want to look at the big boys too, as far as the big power boys, you know.
You mean Anthony Davis?
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk. We do. What are they charging for him?
11.5. His game log is 53.8, 85.4, 75.2, 29.9.
Yeah.
So he's been dropping over 35 plus, or Jesus Christ, doing nothing.
Anthony Davis is a sketchy pick.
I love it.
Around 60. And if he drops fucking 30 or 36,
I love
I'm
it.
happy. But if he drops 75,
I fucking love it.
he's against Memphis. Sat out last time they played Memphis. I don't know. Anthony Davis gets little injuries sometimes too. You know.
That doesn't worry me. That's every year, bro.
Bro.
That's every year, bro. Rhino or Lukumbamute?
Mamute! What do they want for him? They want $4,500 from Mamute.
That's a little too much for me to spend.
Spicy for Mamute.
It's too much for me to spend.
It's such a hard decision, right? Because Mamute for the Warriors. Is he gonna fuck them over? I mean, he's gonna get 30 minutes. Is he gonna fling? Is he gonna do the helicopter dick?
You know who I like more than him, especially if Draymond's out, though?
Who's that?
Ryan Anderson.
I had him. Price hasn't really changed. I think it went up from 42 to 45.
Yep.
He will see some minutes. He'll be a good pick tomorrow. He's capable of 40 against the Warriors. He's also one of their three-point shooters. He'll shoot some threes. He's capable of it.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
I mean, he's a good pick.
Now tell me why Dirk Nowitzki is 4.8. Never. Nope, never. I couldn't do it.
I mean, Dirk, you know, I mean,
I couldn't do it.
I
wouldn't be able to do it.
Ben Simmons is only 8,000. It's a home game.
What's he been doing?
Against Phoenix, 46. I don't know. Like maybe
All right,
it's
so
Milwaukee.
with all my other sketchy power forward picks, I'm gonna also go ahead and grab Marvin Williams just to really shake shit up.
Oh, you're actually making a line. Well, go
Oh,
for it. I'm not
kinda.
even. I'm just writing this stuff down. I'm not even gonna think about making a line. But thing about Ben Simmons is he could very well goes on these little sprees.
I
This
was
is the
trying to
game that
say
keeps him
that. I
scoring
was trying to
60.
say that.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're totally right. And then he goes on this. Well, I'm just
You know what I think it is? I think it's Dario. It's Dario doing all the scoring.
But if Ben
The
Simmons
Sixers are too
drops
balanced right
60,
now, and no one's hurt.
have they really had much injury? Not really, right?
I mean, what's his name sits out every back-to-back, or has a minute restriction.
Uh, I actually like Ben Simmons tomorrow.
I do too.
I don't know why.
I do too.
40 is not that hard for him to get. And if he does drop 50 or 60, 1% is going to be much more than 15. It's probably going to be under 15. I think a lot of people are going to be having Blake tomorrow. Rick,
You think
Sir,
so?
getting 27.5. Not that tough. You know, JJ Redick is out. So, right? I think he's still out. So,
JJ is?
that's not a bad pick with JJ Redick out because that scoring's got to come from somewhere. Ben Simmons is young. He can play 30, 40, 35, 40 minutes. He can drop 40 to 60, maybe even 70 on a rare occasion. If he drops you 70 and you got him for 8,000, work with that. You know, that's 30 overvalued. That's hard to do. It's hard to get somebody that's getting you 30 overvalued.
But what about Montrezl Harrell?
I'm gonna jump right back on these chalky Clippers scrubs, huh? Look at the guy. If we're still talking big power daddies, can't even find him.
Him or Taj?
6,200.
Him or Taj?
Yikes. He's getting like 30 minutes right now. I don't think there's much room for the.
What's
That's the
that?
thing that a lot of the time is they'll
Too
get a good
expensive?
player or start popping and they price him too high. I think he's a good pick at like 5,400, 5,500.
I
Um,
agree. I agree with you.
Taj Gibson. Oh, yeah. Give me some Taj.
Yeah.
Taj. Taj is capable of 40. The value is low. Is like probably. Does he perform well against good teams? I don't know.
He
This is a
does, dude.
question
We
mark.
do. We play well together as a team. We're playing really good.
He dropped 12 against Boston, 14 against Oklahoma. He dropped 12 against Jesse. That's not very good. 12 fantasy points in 34 minutes?
Oh shit, that's
Yikes.
not very good.
I mean, I'd say he'll probably get 25 tomorrow against Toronto.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah,
No doubt.
15 to 30. You could get your 35, 36. Be 7 value. It's not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. Give me a fucking. Oh, I got it. Check out
So who's the centers?
Boogie.
Boogie?
center. A lot of options.
Is Boogie the lock?
He's kind of jumping out at me after his 60 bomb today.
Is he the lock?
Is he the lock? You never know. He's risky.
He's
Coach doesn't like
risky.
him. Yeah, sometimes the coach just is like, get on the fucking bench, buddy. Oh, what happens?
Did they play today, you said? Or like
We're all about
yesterday?
Marcus Gasol today. How did he do for you?
I didn't play him.
Yikes. 25. Yeah, I'm glad I told you not to.
It wasn't you. Who did the Pelicans play? Grizzlies? In New Orleans? 11.4. Ah, man.
I think Cousins that's a great price for him. The only thing that sucks about Cousins is he's like the worst player in the league for turnovers. 8 points a night from turnovers, which is not great.
Oh my god, Joel Embiid is gonna eat.
Think Joel Embiid's gonna eat tomorrow?
I think he's gonna fucking feast.
Probably not wrong. Yesterday, when he dropped, I think he dropped like 50 something. Yeah, 59. He's doing well against good teams, so.
Do you like Big Cat?
Like, aside from him fluking and getting 93 fantasy points, great pick. He's probably the only center that can get 9 value.
Right.
Not a bad tournament pick, but is he going to do that against Milwaukee? Maybe, I don't know. Also, JJ Redick's out, so no more scoring for him. Like Karl Anthony Towns, though.
That's who I said. I said Cat.
Ah, he's been pretty consistent.
Good.
About Cat, even
Under 10K?
Yeah, even if he has a tough day and gets 40, 8 points.
Under 10K.
That big of a cock slap?
What about Hassan Whiteside?
That's probably the best expensive center to pick tomorrow.
Because I look at Anthony Towns' game log, and then I look at Whiteside's game log. I don't think I want Whiteside off the back-to-back, though.
Whiteside is really young, like I say. It doesn't matter as much.
He's not. He's not young is the thing, though. And I bet his coach rests him.
He's got to be like 25 or under.
I bet he's at least 25. He's 28. Gommel. How you feel about that? He's old.
He's 28.
He's old as fuck. He's almost about to collect Social Security. God damn it. God damn it, Curran.
You know, I had Nurkic yesterday.
Yeah? How did that go?
That went really well for me. They raised his price off the back of that.
What did he do for you the other day?
The guy I snagged him at 6K for 6,500. He
Yeah.
dropped 50. I was
Ooh.
stoked.
Ooh. 50 bomb.
Yeah, I think
You think what?
there are so many good options at center.
That's why I love DraftKings.
I really close to picking Rudy Gobert today. Kinda sad I didn't, considering he got 8 value.
You know what I love is that on DraftKings I could get away with picking 4 centers possibly.
Rudy Gobert minutes today and got 47 points.
Ooh.
Yeah,
47 FanDuel
money.
points?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
6,000. Is
Ooh,
pricey there,
damn.
and
That's really good.
yeah, I like him tomorrow. I probably like Rudy Gobert, Nurkic, Balloons, Balloon.
So I
Balloon.
did make a lineup while we did our first ever run through.
Like the slate tomorrow. I really like I said before, two teams to watch battle. It would be Golden State and the Rockets. So that should be fun to watch. I don't win though. I think with
Alright.
Harden being restricted, Rockets aren't hot right now.
Help me build a lineup right now.
As far as right now, I don't think there's any teams that are that close to Golden State as far as like skill.
Let's wrap up by building a lineup. I'm gonna tell you what I picked, and we'll just,
Um, okay, I'll make a line.
No, I already have one made.
Okay, my first pick is gonna be Gobert. Um,
Gotta start a point guard. Huh? Hello?
Hi, how are you, sir?
So I picked Rajon Rondo and Dennis Smith Jr. Tyrone Wallace, Lou Williams, Jimmy Butler, Josh Richardson, Ryan Anderson, Taj Gibson, Karl Anthony Towns.
Noise.
So what are you changing at point guard?
Hold on, I'm gonna send you my choices. Nice.
This ran far too long. Just so you know, Karen. Hello?
Sir? Hi.
This ran far too long for a podcast. Over an hour and 15 minutes.
That's what she said.
So do you not want to build a line with me or what? Who's your
Oh, I'm
point
making
guard?
a line right now. I'm gonna share it with you. Hold your fucking horses, buddy.
That's not how you do it, you idiot. I pick a player, you pick a player, you pick a player, I pick a player, you pick a player.
Do that
It's not that
afterwards,
fucking
dude.
hard, dude. I don't want it. What?
Give me a fucking sec. Is it Giannis out?
I don't know, Giannis. I'm not fucking Jason Kidd, bitch.
Is a bitch. He don't even hit the shit. I remember when the Mavericks won the fucking NBA. They had this nigger named Terry and this nigger named JK. They popped on the side corner threes. They hit them over and over. Then
So I guess I'm not uploading this.
numbers.
God, I fucking hate you.
You can do a little post production.
You can do a little post fucking yourself. How's that sound?